Welcome to the 24th Senate meeting of the 53rd session. For the record, the date today is Monday at September 18, 2023, and the time is 6:21 p.m. We are currently located in the Student Union Room 313 Senate Chambers. We also have senators joining us online through Zoom. I will now go on a period of roll call. Chair Ariana.
Here.
Senator Granados.
Here.
Senator Garcia Contreras.
Here.
Senator Leon.
Here.
Chair Marinon is excused until 7 p.m. Senator Villanueva.
Here.
Senator Martinez is unexcused. Chair Ago.
Here.
Senator Hankins.
Here.
Senator Munir.
Here.
Senator Chasa is excused. Senator Johnny.
Here.
Senator Nguyen is excused. Senator Kyle.
Here.
Senator McCray is unexcused. Senator Toledo.
Here.
Senator Thomas.
Here.
Senator Flores. Here. Chair Tabacoli is excused. With 13 present senators, we are now meeting for it. At this time, at 6:22 p.m., I open land acknowledgement. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas wishes to acknowledge and honor the indigenous communities of this region and recognize that the university is situated on the traditional homelands of Nuuvi, Southern Paiute people. We offer gratitude for the land itself, for those who have stewarded it for generations, and for the opportunity to study, learn, work, and be in community with this land. I will now open the public comment at 6:22 p.m. This is the time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you are limited to 2 minutes for your public comment. Please refrain from anything slanderous or defamation of character, as I have the right to cut you off. When you come to the podium, please state your name, first and last name, and spell your name for the record. Does anyone here have a public comment? Seeing none, I will close the public comment at 6:23 p.m. At this time, I will now open approval of minutes. Are there any discrepancies from 53-23 meeting minutes that was posted to the public? Yes, Senator Jonathan.
I'd like to point out for clerical, I'd just like to point out on the agenda item, the link is broken and it does not link to any minutes. As per normal meeting decorum, I think we should make sure our links are working so that the public has access to their information.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will now go on period of vote. All in favor of approval of 53-23 meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
With 13
Aye.
0, the minutes has been approved. Okay, anyone opposed? With 13-0 to 0, the minutes has been approved. I will now close the approval of minutes at this time and at the same time open reports. Starting with Senate committee reports, Chair Ariana.
Okay. So hello everyone, welcome to the RSO camp from Waiting Means. Hopefully we'll be able to get done with all the things. As for my committee, please be sure to RSVP for tomorrow's meeting. There's gonna be a lot of training during that meeting. It's gonna be a little bit of a long one as well with as many RSOs as we try to fit in. But please RSVP, let me know ahead of time. We're gonna be forum. We've been having issues lately and I don't want to keep having that anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Ariano. Chair Abba.
Hi, everyone. Your favorite chair of scholarships and grants here. I'm super excited to announce that we now have a vice chair in my committee. Everyone give a little round of applause for Vice Chair Leon. Yay! Super excited to see people stepping into leadership in the Senate. We're going to do a lot of really great work in my committee this semester. If you're still interested in becoming part of my committee, it's not too late. And to the public, you're always welcome to come and share things in the community that you want scholarships and grants to do. If you have any ideas, you're welcome to get public comment in my committee as well, or send me an email if you want to leave your public comment. That's always an option. So yeah, I'm super excited to work with all of you in my committee, and that is all. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Abo. Now we will move on to professional staff reports. Advisor Deb.
Hi all. Happy Monday. It's good to see a very full room. Thank you all for being so flexible. I'm going to flat out apologize. It's my fault. I forgot to look at our schedule that said that we didn't have 208 today because of start recruitment. So I apologize for that we did not make the plan to be in here, but thank you all for being flexible. I really appreciate that. I am excited. This is technically our first Senate meeting of like a regular time and agenda for the fall semester. So I'm excited to get back to the regular business of the Senate now that the summer is over. I'm really excited to see all our RSO representatives here. It is a privilege of the Senate that they get to provide funding to all of the great things that you all are doing as RSO. So I appreciate you being flexible and patient and understanding. And I know it's warm in this room and we're crowded in and all of those things. So thank you. And I'm so happy to see you all here. We will be back in 208 next week. So please make sure you plan for that. I just want to note the quorum thing, okay? I want to remind you all that I love how involved all of you are as senators and how much you, and I understand all the things you have on your plate, but you have a duty to your constituents to be responsible to be here unless there is a very extenuating circumstances. You need to be accountable to your constituents that you're getting the work of the Senate done. And it's really hard when the Senate president thinks they're going to meet quorum because of your RSVPs, and then people who RSVP aren't here, or we're starting a meeting 25 minutes late. It's not a good look for CSUN, and I know CSUN is trying to really put on a better face than we have in the past. So I really want to remind you all that it's not just about your responsibility to each other in the room, but the other 25,000 undergrads here at UNLV that you represent, and that is who you should be responsible for. Every time you think about whether you are going to be at a meeting or not, running late, whatever, making sure that you're communicating about your attendance at meetings. And then I just want to remind you all that it is now that the fall semester started, highly want to encourage the senators that you are planning your mixers. If you have any questions about how to plan a mixer, please don't hesitate to come and chat with me or your business coordinator, Palacios. We're happy to talk to you. Our recommendation is that you come up with a plan and an expected budget before you take those to the Senate president to ask for approval. But if you need any help in coming up with what your program plan is, where it's going to be, how to book those rooms, meeting rooms, resources for them, how to order the food, how to put together the budget, what to know to put on your budget, all of those things. I think sometimes for new senators, that can be a little overwhelming, and sometimes that kind of holds you all back from doing the mixers that you really should be doing, again, to be accountable to your constituents. So highly encourage you all, if you have not started to plan a mixer, that you are doing so, and please remember that I'm a resource to help you do that. I think that's it for me today. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Advisor Dow. Does anyone have any questions for Advisor Dow? Yes, Chair Ariana.
Did we leave a paper stating that it's gonna change from the SU to the Senate chambers?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Any more questions? Closing professional staff reports, moving on to liaison reports, SPPT. Thank you everyone who, again, met with me one-on-one. It's really nice to know you personally. I really appreciate you getting to know you personally, because we always are working professionally, and sometimes it's nice to see you outside of that. And mass emails. For the mass emails for September, please, the deadline is September 28th. I know it's kind of far, 10 days from now. However, I advise if you could start planning ahead with your fellow senators, if you have them, to do all the required for the email. I sent you all a guideline on how to do an email. Kindly follow that. It's also in our standing rules of Senate if you need a guideline for that. The internship program. The internship program, a lot of people are interested in the internship program. I have met with quite a few actually, and I think Rebel Ready Week really did us good. Another thing, outreach hour. So for outreach hour, if you want to meet with an intern, if you want to mentor for an intern, that counts as an outreach hour. Usually the minutes of the meeting will be 30 minutes, 15 minutes, but that counts as 1 hour of your outreach hours. Remember that as senators, you are all required to do 8 outreach hours per month on top of your 2 hours of office hours per week. And that's it for me. Does anyone have any questions for SPPP Salon? Seeing none, we will now move on to AG Leon Martinez.
Hello everyone, welcome back to, well, never mind, I was gonna say normal Senate meeting, but, so I have a few things, my report is on the drive, so if you wanna read us along, please let me know. We have successfully passed the constitutional amendments to the Internal Affairs Committee. The next step will be meeting with your council, we are going to send the documents that we approved with the committee to your council, and then we're gonna have a meeting with them after they review the document, and then after that, hopefully if they don't change anything substantial in the document, we'll be sending it to the Senate for 2 Senate meetings discussion. And then after that, we're trying to get this into a special election as soon as we can, so please start keeping that in your mind. It will happen most likely after the Senate election, so for those who you are returning, please make sure that you remember that, because we're gonna need your help to market this special election to get a good turnout. Besides the constitutional referendum, I'll be sending a few bills to the Internal Affairs Committee. One of them will be amending the legislative procedures about basically who gets the right bills, who doesn't get the right bills, etc. I also created a new mechanism for CSUN to internally review functions, how CSUN works, shortcomings, how can we fix it, how we can move on from them. I also created some amendments to my office. On the next Senate meeting for next week, I will be giving a presentation to you all about who I am, who the AG is, what do they do, and what resources you can get from the office. Besides that, we'll also be updating the agenda posting bylaws. As we know, we have a website now that everything has to go, works a little bit different. So nothing too major. I also got nominated by the Nevada Student Alliance as the university representative for a statewide task force to address power-based violence. So thank you to President Franklin for nominating me on that. I will be serving on that to graduate next year. It'll be for the whole state of Nevada. So if you have any questions about anything that falls under power-based violence, please let me know. Also, please remember that the rules of order and Nevada criminal law proficiency tests are due tomorrow. These are things that are outlined in the code of conduct, and there is a hard deadline. For those of you who know me, if there's a deadline, I will adhere to it. If you didn't tell me anything beforehand, I will follow with what happens after you don't meet the deadlines in the bylaws. Let's just say that one. And then I will also be auditing all public body minutes in the coming days. This goes for e-board meetings, committee meetings, Senate meetings, just to make sure that you are all adhering to what NRS mandates you all to do in the minutes, and to make sure they're posted in the right place at the right time for you all to see it. Besides that, I will also be looking at the attendance of all public bodies, and then start kind of like jotting down how many unexcused and excused absences each member of CSUN has in the meetings that they need to be going, because there is an outline of what happens if you not attend public bodies, and I feel like today is a good representation as to why we need to attend meetings on time. Also, a few reminders. My office hours each change from Wednesday to Friday, and then from 12 to 4. Now they're going to be from 12 to 2. So if you have any questions about anything they need my help with, just reach out to me. I just ask that you please send me an email beforehand. That way I kind of know what you want to meet about, and I'm kind of like prepared. Because you catch me blindsided, then I'm just gonna waste both of our time, because then I have to like look for documents, stuff like that. So just reach out to me beforehand. It could be the day off. It doesn't matter. And then to those who post agendas, please email me the agendas in the email of the final agenda, as well as one before, if you want me to triple check that everything is right before you post it. And then if you like any attorney general opinion, please fill out the request, which is hyperlinked into the report. On the next meeting, I will go about what's the difference between an attorney general opinion and a judicial council opinion. That way, if you have any questions, then you can always reach out to me. And then also to those who post agendas, please fill out the Nevada Community Law Compliance form. It's in the bylaw, something that you have to do. It's not in arrest, so I cannot nullify any of your meetings, but it is in the bylaw. So just please fill that out either before or after you post the agendas. But with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, AG Leon Martinez. The directors. Director Mia, do you have anything further for us?
Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing good. So a couple of things I do have on my list that I wanted to talk to all of you about is about the professional headshots that should be coming around October, November time. So I can have all of the senators. You must wear your, CSUN Polo, which will be a professional headshot. Also, our marketing team is also working on homecoming giveaways and just sending out. So if you have time, hopefully, you're always welcome to join us. Also, for the internship flyer for CSUN, that is being done, should be done by tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have that out on campus and on social media within this week or probably beginning of next week. What else? Currently, we are working on new shirt designs and tote bags, which will be presented on the next meeting, which I'm really excited about. And what else? Oh yeah, also an idea that I had, which you can also email me for your input, is about having business cards for the senators, which I think will be really nice for tabling purposes. And be like, hey, here's my business card. Email me if you need anything. Expect 2 to 3 emails from me, like here this week or probably next week, about data like sign up sheets, anything like that. And we also have a new marketing spreadsheet that should be coming to your email by the end of this meeting, about our marketing techniques that we have. So if you have an idea that you want to implement at CSUN, the turnaround week around that would be like a week and a half. So plan accordingly to your schedule. So if you want to have something out by next week, we'll have to do like a week or a week and a half before that. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Director Mia. Are there any members from the Judicial Council? Seeing none. Oh, there we go. Do you have a report for us?
Not at the moment.
Okay, thank you. And moving on to executive reports, President Franklin. Moving on, we will now close executive reports and moving on to consent agenda, item 1A, for the approval of university initiatives appointments of Senator Jonigan and Senator Mien. Are there any discrepancies for the committee appointments for Senator Jonigan and Senator Mien? Seeing none, although we will now go.
Point of order, I guess. The consent agenda is voted on in its entirety altogether. So it's not based on the specific approval for university initiatives and Ways and Means Committee. You just say, does any business from either one of these items want to be moved into new business? If not, then there'll be a voice vote or a roll call vote on whether or not these are all approved together. So you can just say that.
For the approval of university initiative appointments and Ways and Means Committee appointments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? With 13-0, university initiative appointments and Ways and Means Committee appointments of Senator Flores and university initiative appointments of Senator Jonigan and Senator Mien has been approved. Moving on to new business. We will now open agenda item 2B. For the agenda item 2E, for the discussion and approval of funding for Alpha Kappa Sorority Incorporated. Is there representatives from Alpha Kappa? Yes, I will now yield the floor to the presenters. You will have time to present your.
Point of order. Can we pull up their presentation? They had a cry on it.
Senator Ariana, do you have a copy of
I
it?
have a copy.
You can forward it to Sloan, so I'm just add it real quick. Or I can.
I got it. You should have it now.
definition of the job.
We'll move it into the front here. Now it should be.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyra Bevins. I am the president of the Kappa Psi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And so here's a little bit about our organization. We are the first African-American sorority. We were founded on January 15th, 1908 on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. And we were founded by 20 young college-educated women. Our principles are sisterhood, scholarship, and service. Our colors are salmon pink and apple green. Our motto is by culture and by merit. Our symbol is the Ivy Leaf. And our philanthropies that we focused on are the American Heart Association, and then the Susan G. Komen, and then Race for Cures, and then Souls for Souls, and so many more other philanthropies. So about Kappa Psi, our chapter, we were chartered here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas on April 15th, 1976. And we have been on the campus for over 47 years now. Our signature event that's very popular amongst our peers is our Ski Week. Kappa Psi has won numerous awards competing against different chapters in our region, such as Hawaii, California, and Alaska. We currently have 6 members in our chapter and on our roster. And we are the only undergraduate chapter in the state of Nevada. Our impact here. So members of Kappa Psi are doing really great things on campus. We have members who are care center advocates, VP of VSO, members of CSUN, and more. As a chapter, we have participated in various service projects, such as serving food to local communities, planting trees, and then also taking a stance for mental health and so many other things as well. And September 13th, we had our first event, which we cleaned books for kids in underprivileged communities so that they had readable books and could achieve literacy. And then also, we have a bunch of events planned for this semester, such as an event coming up soon, October 3rd, where we're going to be helping the environment and enhancing the environment by showing people how to turn things that are old that they may not want into something different, like upcycling. Membership intake on the next slide. So due to our chapter having basically almost the minimum amount of members in order to receive funding, and also people in our chapter graduating soon, we are looking to have membership intake next semester in the spring. And so we're going to try to expand our chapter and continue the legacy of Kappa Psi. And we would like to properly welcome our members with sorority items. In our chapter, it's tradition to give gifts such as paraphernalia, shirts, bags, and pins, and more in order to welcome our new members into our sisterhood. And then conferences, our region will be having our Regional Founders Day celebration in January. And so our chapter is composed of mainly all new members. And so this gives our chapter members an opportunity to go and celebrate our organization being founded, and also being able to network and bring things back to our chapter after that conference and celebration. And then if you don't mind going back to the other slide, thank you. And then we are also requesting assistance with travel and lodging for our regional conference, April 18th to April 21st, 2024. And current and possible new members will have registration paid for with their cost of membership. So that's why we're asking for travel and lodging. And then we're also asking for assistance with registration fees for our largest conference, which is our Boulé, which will be in Dallas, Texas, July 6th through 11th in 2024. And this is where our organization will come together as a governing body and vote on things on the behalf of our organization. And we're asking for travel and funding for lodging as well. and registration fees. And then this gives us an opportunity to go because it is an expectation of our chapter to attend these conferences because this is how our organization is ran by its members. So this gives us an opportunity to be able to get there with the funding. And then the next slide, please. We're also requesting assistance with printing needs. So we give out brochures to prospective members. We also print out advertising posters. So that will allow us to be able to post things. So when we have events and things of that nature, we can post about it. And then we're also asking for balloons for our new member welcoming event. So that way we can add some type of decor to the presentation and event. And then that is all. Thank you.
We will now move on to a period of questions and points of discussion. Are there any questions for Alpha Kappa Alpha? Senator Jonathan.
Thank you. STPT. Hey, that was a great presentation. Thank you for coming here today. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I like what you guys are doing in the community. It's something that's really needed here at UNLV. And I had a question about your budget. However. So I'm looking at line item 6.
Are you guys able to pull it up? Or I can pull it up.
Yeah. I'll wait till we have it pulled up.
Yes, okay, thank you. Just a second.
Great. So I'm looking at line items 5 and 6. Both are listed as hotel. One is for a quantity of 6, one is for a quantity of 10. Can you explain why we have 2 different lines that both say hotel?
Yes, so the hotel in line 5 is for our regional conference. And then the line 6 is the hotel for our Boulay conference. And so the reason why it says quantity of 6 is because of the amount of members. We would need to get 2 rooms. And then for the amount of nights that will be there, so it'll be 6 nights. So, 3 nights times 2 rooms. And so I divided the cost of each room and then added the quantity of 6 for that. And then I did the same for Boulay, which is more days. So it'll be 5 days and then the amount of 2 rooms.
Okay, great. That clarifies that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Senator Leon.
Okay, echoing what Senator Jonathan said, that was a great presentation. And I definitely think it's good for our community and what we need here, but I do have a question about line item 9 on your budget. If you could just explain what exactly that is. I see flight/gas.
Yes, so because the flight and gas that we're requesting, like the travel costs, that's going to be going to our regional conference, which will be in California. And so the flights fluctuate, but the reason why the cost is that the flights will possibly be, half of the flight is going to be more than that, but we just put the amount of that so that they have an ability to utilize it for a flight if necessary. It won't cover, even half of it, but they could try to find a cheaper flight. And then I also gave documentation about different gas prices. So that way, if they decided to travel by car, then they can, instead of buying a flight, they could use gas in order to travel via car. So that's why I added it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we will now move on to a vote. All those in favor of approval of funding for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated of $3,524.40, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? With 13-0-0, the funding for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated has been approved. Congratulations. Moving on to item 2B, where could you state your name and first and last name for the record?
Yes, Tyra Bevins. Oh, spelling, sorry. Last name is spelled Bevans.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item 2B for the discussion and approval of funding for UNLV undergraduate law. Yes. Yes, please say your first and last name for the record.
My name is Annie Bong, B as in Victor, O-N-G.
My name is Jesse Fager, Fager, F-A-G-E-R.
Mine is Floyd Velasquez, Velasquez, V-E-L-A-S, U-U-B-C.
Thank you. Supplement, Chair Ariana.
Oh, would you like me to present the slides so you guys are not
Oh.
fumbling around?
I think it's the old version of our slides. I mean, I can be still present with it, it's just, oh, I don't know, I believe I sent to you maybe last Sunday. Or I could share it again.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I got it. Never mind. I got it.
Chair Ariana.
I have the presentation on my computer. If you want me to share it.
Did you send it to me?
I haven't sent it yet, but I'll send it right now.
I don't have the access to the drive. Could you send it to?
Ariana,
Present.
just share it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have access?
Also, the budget is also in that same email as well, or the revised one.
Oh, no, yeah, I realized.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, we are the Undergraduate Law Review. A little bit about us, we're a club that allows our members to publish articles based on whatever they're interested in law. A lot of our students are kind of stuck in classes where we don't have the freedom to write about what we want. So that's kind of where our club fills the gap. We've had members talk about, let's say, like motorcycle driving or artificial intelligence in the law. I wrote about whether Drake can sue a TikToker for using an AI to use his voice and make a song out of it. And we have a lot of our members write about abortion, affirmative action, kind of things that they're interested in. And overall, we basically, through these articles, we offer legal writing advice and kind of improve the chances of our students of getting into law school. Moving on to the next slide, I'll let Jesse do the board.
Awesome. So our e-board consists of our editor-in-chief, which is like our president, which is Annie right here. We have our two associate editors, which are like vice presidents, I guess, are Floyd Velasquez and then myself. We have Luke Sletta, who is our executive director, which is our treasurer and secretary combined. And then we have Oscar, our publisher, who publishes our articles on our website.
Moving on to items on the budget, we have crew necks, t-shirts, stickers, tote bags, and legal pads. These are all meant to be marketing materials, things to table with at the involvement fair, or things to give away to members to incentivize to come to our meetings. For the LSAT books, that's a new idea that we're trying out. We want to create an LSAT library so that our members can kind of check out books whenever they're studying instead of spending $300 on a book. And alternatively, if that doesn't work, we can also raffle the books off and kind of as another way to incentivize members to come to our meetings. Moving on, I think the next one. Yes, okay. Moving on, we have our publishing materials. I know CSUN in the past has been hesitant to grant funding for websites, but for us as a club, we exist to publish. We need the website because all of our members kind of need to establish an academic record They want to present their writing and to the public, and when they apply to law schools, when you look up their name, you want those articles to be found on the website. Additionally, we want to have physical prints of our issues, basically. Things to like leave in the law school lobby for people, or like the honors college lobby, and things to submit to the library, and for writers to have like copies for themselves. Moving on, I believe is the graduation materials, and I'll let Floyd talk about that.
Do you mind if I begin? That's fine. So the two items for our graduation materials that we are asking for some funding for are our stools for e-board members. And those are kind of just tokens to commemorate their time here in the organization. Similarly, we do want to do cords for our graduating members. So for those who are not e-board members, it would just be a simple cord for graduation in a similar way to commemorate their time with this organization. Other materials include tent and foldable cart. These are for our tabling events, so tents protect ourselves from the elements of the weather. This past summer has been very, very hot, especially this past involvement fair and just in the sun. And a foldable cart in order to bring our items to and from our cars to the places where to go.
Ultimately, our whole club kind of exists to support our members. A lot of us who are here at UNLV and in the club, a lot of us are first generation college students, and a lot of us are going to be first generation law students. So we kind of want to make sure everybody has all the materials and all the info they need before they apply. And just anything to support our members, that is basically that's all our purpose. And thank you for listening. And,
Yes, thank you.
UNLV undergraduate law review for presenting. We will now move on to a period of question and discussion. Senator Donegan.
Thank you, SPPT. Salang Singh. First, I want to say thank you for coming here tonight. I think this is a very good RSO. I do represent the College of Urban Affairs, and we have the major of criminal justice. There's a lot of the students within my college who are headed on to law school. So this RSO, I think, is very important. And I thank you for continuing to do what you do. That concludes my comment, but however, I have two amendments I'd like to make to the bill. First, I'll tell you what they are before I make the motion. So in the beginning, it says, whereas the consolidated students of the University of Nevada CSUN represents, it should say consolidated students of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And then second, in the very last line, therefore be it enacted, CSUN shall appropriate $3,123.33 one time to fund the undergraduate law review. I believe their RSO's name is spelled UNLV undergraduate being one word. Here you have it as two separate words. So you had a comment on that, Senator Alba?
I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, specifically, even working as I believe those are mostly clerical because they don't change any of the substance of the bill. So they could just be amended by the chair. There's no motion must be made to change those.
Well, the only thing concerning the name, because if it is written as University of Nevada, CSUN, that's a different organization. I don't think that exists, but that's not our organization if it's spelled like that. I think, and also for future bills, we should make sure that we're clarifying what our exact name is. But if it's just clerical, that's fine.
Thank you, Senator Donegan. We will take notes of what we should put in our bills, whether it be clerical or not. For senators in the Ways and Means Committee, kindly be careful in what we put in our agenda, so we have to amend every time and double check. Thank you. Any more questions for the undergraduate UNLV undergraduate law review? Seeing none, All those in favor of the approval of funding for UNLV graduate law review of $3,123.33, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 13-0, the funding of $3,123.33 has been approved. Are there any representatives from ISACA student group?
Yes.
We will now move on to the discussion and approval of funding for ISCA student group. We'll yield the floor to ISACA student group.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josh McDermott. I'm the treasurer of ISACA Student Group, and we're a relatively new student organization starting in October of 2022. And what we do is we are an organization that helps educate students on careers in IT audit and cybersecurity. And we host different events to give networking opportunities and help students learn about different certifications they can get. And we also partner with the Las Vegas ISACA professional chapter to extend education beyond the classroom. So some of the past events that we've done are a risk and security panel where we had different professionals experienced in the cybersecurity industry come and talk to students. And we had a lunch and learn event with Deloitte. Our membership this semester, so far we have 47 members and 34 are undergrads, and we don't collect any member dues. So what we're requesting from CSUN this school year is $3,744 total. Most of it is going towards marketing with a table cover, member shirts, leadership polos, business cards, banner, canopy tent, and different ISACA promotional items. And we're also requesting graduation stoles and assistance with student membership annual dues to the National Professional Organization. And this would provide students access to webinars and professional meetings, study materials, and different trainings that they could do. And that's it. Thank you.
So much for presenting ISACA student group. We will now move on to a period of question and discussion. Senator Jonigan.
Hi. Thank you, Senator SPPT Zelensang. The presenter from ISACA mentioned that the RSO is requesting $3,744.17 as noted on Senate Bill 5353. However, if I'm looking at the correct budget, the total in the budget is requesting $4,254.17. Is this a mistake on my end or their end? What's with the difference?
Senator.
So
There's an updated budget in the drive. It should match the bill.
Oh, the one that says update.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Are there any questions or points of discussion? IGOs.
Point of information, all bills on this agenda have the same that were previously posted, was the same University of Nevada. I went to templates and changed it because I guess someone changed the template themselves. So just make sure that you are not editing the template when you're making bills because you're just gonna mess up all bills after that. So you usually don't check the template because it's assumed the template is the right one. So for the Ways and Means Committee or whoever's going to submit this bills, make sure that you rectify that. Also, please make sure when you submit the bills to the Senate that you name who the Senate person is, Senate Secretary is, and then student body president is, because they have to sign those documents. So just make sure that you always constantly editing that out and then putting the right individuals into those positions. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
question for memberships, can they be funded like completely like the cost, or do they also have to be, have like travel fees? I believe this question is more for Reasonings Committee Chair Ariano.
So seeing as their items, none of that says about like travel costs or event costs. Majority of it would be just 50% if it were to be that case, but seeing that there is none in the lines. After review from the Ways and Means Committee, there's no need for a 50% cut.
Senator Donegan.
I have another discrepancy with the bill. You can scroll all the way to the end, further clerically, it says SBXX-XX. I think it should say what the bill is before we approve it. So I don't know if there's gonna be an issue on all the bills as well. They're clerical. It's clericking.
Again, for all senators in the Ways and Means Committee, as said by Adrian Martinez and by Senator Donegan, make sure before you post the bill, please check, double check, before you send the bill for approval. And Senator Leons.
Okay, so I have a question for the ISACA. Thank you so much for presenting, but I'm seeing, I guess, a discrepancy a bit in your budget sheet for the sunglasses on line item 9. It says that you are trying to get to a quantity of 200 for a cost of $3 each, but I'm seeing that you're requesting $682.95, and I think that would only come up to around like 200. So is the group requesting for extras, or can you just explain that, like how you came up with the total request?
Yeah, so in the operating policy, it said we could request with tax and shipping.
Oh,
So I included that in the number.
oh, okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we will now move on to a vote. All those in favor for the approval of funding for ISACA student group of $3,744.17, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 13-0, the funding for ISACA student group is now approved. Julia will start us. There'll be 14 senators present.
Oh, wait.
I believe we might be having some quorum issues. I'm hearing mutterings. Can we do like a roll call?
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna do a quick roll call, so Chair Ariano.
Here.
Senator Bernardo.
Here.
Senator Garcia Contreras.
Here.
Senator Jones.
Here.
Chair Merritt. SPPT Salonso. Here. Senator Villanueva.
Here.
Senator Martinez. Chair Alba.
Here.
Senator Hankins. Here. Senator Moore.
Here.
Senator Tassa is excused. Senator Donovan.
Here.
Senator Mugan is excused. Senator Kyle. Senator McCray. Senator Toledo.
Yes.
Senator Thomas. Senator Flores.
Here.
And Chair Tapacoli is excused. For 1 second. We have 12. It's 13. So. Yep,
Hi, let's try to give it just a couple minutes. I was just texting with Franklin, and she is going to ask Senator Kyle or Senator Thomas to come back on.
We're gonna take a 5-minute recess just to see if we can meet quorum again, just so everyone knows we can't conduct business in this one meeting for specifically. Just gonna wait and see. Sorry about that. And sorry for my tardiness in her class, so I'm here now.
I'm the one that.
Oh, Joshua Marinello. Well, people.
Yeah. we still have 5 minutes.
Resume at 7:20. Well, this is probably almost for
Which was why I was able to end the meeting on the minutes, but I didn't see. So
I'd like to do more fun events and more like events like, oh,
Joshua Marinello.
Josh. Okay, well, he's here in that. Ariano and
Is this your, what's it called, your, well, did we vote after Carla? Well, Kyle was here and I was like, we were pulling up. One of them would say we were. We could revote on this if we want, just like. Nah, just go to yours. We don't know. We don't know when you're, you have to look there. You should maybe make it ask us to check. Make sure we're informed. town center.
They left me with a Google Doc with flyers and a Google Slide presentation.
Just remember.
That's Marino. Oh, it just has a different name.
The cat?
Yes, the
Yeah,
cat is
that's
Marino.
it.
What about the one we call Keep Calm, God, or something?
That's there's too many jobs. Keep calm person is mentally healthy.
Oh, we're recording.
Are we still recording?
I'm gonna do another quick roll call just to
I'm so
make sure.
sorry, so sorry about
Chair Ariano,
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna do another quick roll call just to make sure we are meeting quorum so we can continue. Chair Ariano,
Here.
Senator Bernardo,
Here.
Senator Garcia Contreras,
Here.
Senator Rios,
Here.
Chair Marinot. Chair Marinot,
Oh, sorry, I thought you said someone else. Here?
SDPT Salonso, here. Senator Villanueva,
Here.
Chair Abo,
Here.
Senator Hinkins,
Here.
Senator Mooney,
Here.
Senator Johnson,
Here.
Senator Zorito,
Here.
Senator Flores,
Here.
So I will go ahead and open the end of discussion and approval of funding for Girl Games UNLV and committee member.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm here in front of you, not as your SVPT, but as president of Girl Games UNLV. Years.
Hi, my name is Leah Sason. I'm the vice president of Girl Games.
And for the record, my name is Julia Salongsong. It's JULIA SALANG SANG.
All right, so hi, everybody. Girl Games UNLV is all about inspiring women to dominate in and outside of their weight room. Our mission is to promote female weightlifting and empower women to feel strong and beautiful in a judgment-free community. Whether you're a dedicated gym goer or a curious beginner, Girl Games is a college campus-originated organization and an evolving online community here to support you in every single aspect of your fitness journey. Some highlights for Girl Games is in this pink picture right here. This is an all-women's gym. It's called Bikini Fitness, and they're the e-board and our members did a big workout, so it's pretty tough. Anyways, in the second picture, we were doing a hot girl hike, and then in our third picture, we actually won an award called for student organization committed to top tier within the first year of Girl Games. It was previously our anniversary last week.
So what do we do? So Girl Games UNLV, we do a lot. We meet weekly. We have meetings on Tuesdays at 4 or 5. We do interactive meetings where we invite like guest speakers, experts who are knowledgeable in weightlifting, in nutrition, who can teach the members about meal prep and everything. We also invite, like the lift and lunch that we did, we invited a guest speaker who will teach us about booty exercises. And for our future events, we will invite nutritionists and doctors. And for our events, we all, outside of expert training and social gathering, we also do our members go out for yoga, our members go out for hikes, our members go out for fitness in general, the SWRC. So and this year we also are aiming for fundraising, partnering with local businesses and restaurants to raise money for our chapter. So we do have a membership due. The National Girl Games requires $15 per semester, but only 30% of that is allocated to our chapter. So with the national, that's $15 per semester, and the perks are national merch, a national letter of recognition, on resume, on job applications, national first access to merch drops, exclusive members only tote bag, and then chapter perks will be priority access to event, t-shirt, tote bags, water bottle, goodies, and online community, hopefully if we get funding from Ways and Means. And with that $15, all of that is included. So we mainly, as you can see, we are asking for $8,886.51. It's a lot, but it's our first time asking for funding. Mainly you will see it's for marketing purposes. Mainly it's whenever we table, whenever we want to encourage more members to come and to join Girl Games. Currently our membership is at 125 members. We just had our first general body meeting last week with 46 attendees. So there's a lot of ongoing participation in our community. So as you can see, here's our funding requests, all of that. Keep in mind, this is only our first ever funding application. So we ask of you guys, hopefully you approve it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both for your presentation. I'll go ahead and open the floor for questions and discussion from the Senate. Senator Jonathan.
Hi, thanks for coming tonight. It was a splendid presentation. I had a question about the budget in general. I wanted to look at some of the items that you guys wanted to purchase, but I noticed there's no links to any of the products you wanted to purchase. Is there a reasoning for that? Have you chosen what you wanted to purchase yet?
We included the budget link in the invoice.
Or in the invoice? Okay. Following up, continuing on that. Line item 14 was what I was really concerned about. No. Yes. Line item 14, plates. These compostable. Are they compostable?
Yes.
Just to clarify, Senator Jonathan, were you done with your questions or
I have another question. So I don't have access to the Ways and Means Drive anymore. I was trying to pull up the operating policy so I could answer my own question. However, I see you guys have 125 members on the involvement center. I want to know what was the tier level for how much they could be requesting.
While I'm not chair of the Ways and Means Committee, it's a maximum of $10,000 for any organization over 71 members. So they're in the highest tier of RSOs which can request funding, and they're under that limit. So they're well within the limit of asking for funding.
Great, thank you. That concludes my questions.
Chair,
And just to confirm, that is correct. What Chair Alvarez said. Tier two.
And just to address Senator Jonathan's first part, the CSUN, the Ways and Means operating policy is public, don't have to have access to the drive, so everybody should be able to access. If you go to UNLV.edu/CSUN, and on the front page, it says RSO funding. It's at the top of the RSO funding page, the big red button that says Ways and Means operating policy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Chair Ayana.
I've moved the invoices into the drive, so everyone's able to access them now.
Are there any further questions or discussions for girl meetings?
I have a question. I believe, SPT Solomon has to abstain on this matter as she's part of the board for the organization.
It's usually best practice for, someone who's in a student organization to, abstain from voting for that organization. It's not a requirement. If you look at what the conflict of interest is defined by NSHE, it has to do with whether that person personally benefits financially from the decisions they would make. The funding that's being, discussed here is for the organization and not for SPPT Salon Fund specifically. So I would encourage you all to count Salon Fund's vote here and not require an abstention, because if she abstains, not be quorum.
I think she can still stay in one level quorum. She'll still participate, like, it'll be like, I don't know, 12 to 1.
At all inside.
A majority, just 10 right now. Because we're in 2/3, we're not the Senate, we're not the summer anymore. So, okay, yeah,
How many student charters do we have right now?
we have 13. Okay, so majority should be 10, so she can still stay. If everyone, it needs 10 votes to pass. So it'd be like, I don't know, 10 to 2 to 1, 11 to 1 to 1.
Yeah, right now it's 20 senators, so it would be 11. We need to vote, so it will be fine, but it's 11, because we have 20, half plus 1 is majority, so 11.
Yeah, 10.
Okay, so should I do a roll call? Or does it- okay. So all in favor of approving the funding for girl groups in UNLV, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Aye. So with a vote of 12 to 0 to 1, the funding has been approved. And congratulations. With that being said, I will close 2A at 7:29 p.m. and at the same time open 2D for discussion and approval of funding for SEDS. To the timing representatives.
Yeah, we.
You're ready, you can go ahead.
All right, I would like to begin by saying we are CSUN UNLV, also known as UNLV's Rocket Team, the Students for the Exploration and Development of Space. And presenting is, on the next slide, is myself, Robbie Charm, the president, and to my right is
Gavin Chang.
The treasurer.
So we are, as I stated, the Students for Exploration and Development of Space. We empower leaders in the space for space and exploration at UNLV. We see ourselves as a crucial club because we don't actually have an aerospace undergraduate program. In the next slide, you can see some analytics about us. It says 280 members. We actually just increased that on our Discord to around like 330. So in the past week alone, we got like over 40, 50 new members. So the involvement center and Discord are actually going to change heavily. On the next slide is our student impact and for academics and industry. And instead of just reading the slides to you guys, I just wanted to talk about it. Simply put, we do a lot as a club. We have 4 major projects going on, and our whole role is to help people get that hands-on experience that they will not get in their curriculum. And almost all of our past alumni now work in the aerospace industry, so we see ourselves as not just beneficial to their hands-on career for like resume and getting in there, but they are actually learning industry standard level things, and we are one of the only clubs that actually do that. If you go down all the way to the total funding to date, we've had over 51,000 from CSUN. And we are requesting a lot from you guys today for 10,385.97. And it's honestly not just, this is not just money we want, it's a necessity for us because we are asking for items for like level 1 motors. These level 1 motors are crucial for new members. This is how we teach them how rocketry works and the basic level of rocketry. And like I just said, we had like 40, 50 new people come in. So we are expecting our next workshop to be very heavy, hands-on, and we promised them as an organization that they would get their first motor free. So that's one of the reasons why we're looking for that, and that takes up, I believe, like a fourth or a fifth of our budget. We're also asking for traveling cost and competition cost for our competition coming up called SA Cup. That's going to be at the end of the year, at the end of spring. Those are to cover fees for the competition and ourselves, and our traveling costs 50%, like you guys state. And the rest of the money is actually going to our event called Space Vision. This is a big event for us. It's once a year. The whole point of it is to get those people that have now built their resume, got that hands-on experience, to now go talk to over committees of people in industry. So this event, they specifically bring people from all aerospace companies. So you have like NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, all the big dogs go there. So it's for us to go represent ourselves. We also plan to present our research projects that we're working on. So as a club, we do 4 major things. We do 2 research teams working on 2 different rocket engines. And we have our workshop, which is where all people go to work on individual rocket level things, like I was mentioning earlier. And then competition, we actually just started back this semester. So I wanted to keep it sweet and short and simple for you guys, but that's why we're asking for that much. So I'm open for any questions you guys have.
Thank you guys for your presentation. I will now open up for question and discussion from the Senate and Senator Jonathan.
Hey, thank you, Senate President Wolfo. That was a fantastic presentation. I really like how much involvement you guys got. That's a lot of students you got there.
Thank you.
So I know this is a very minute amount, but I just wanted to know what is the actual amount that this RSO is requesting. On the agenda, it says 10,358.27, but on the bill, it says 10,358.97.
The slightly lower amount is correct. The
Yeah.
one on the budget is up to date. These slides are slightly updated.
Yeah, these were the slides from the presentation, but in the Ways and Means Committee, we had it changed.
Okay. And then I had a question on the budget as well. Just a general question. There's 3 totals listed. First starts at 11,000, it trickles down to the actual amount. Just general, why do we have 3 totals on there?
They just wanted to break down like how much it would cost for after tax, and as well as like just the total cost in general for them, because we do cover the shipping as well as the tax as part of the Ways and Means Committee. The only column you need to really worry about is the total requested. That's the one that we reviewed. So that should be the amount of $10,358.20.
Thank you. And last question, are we still working with that tier 3 $10,000 maximum?
Yes, we're still working with the $10,000 maximum. However, we're making, in the Ways and Means, we decided to forego that one for this club because of just how involved and how much we believe that the club needed the funding to exceed that maximum.
I understand Senator Abel has something, but I would like the Senate to discuss that going $358 over the maximum.
Chair Alba and then.
Yeah, so specifically on that point, so regardless of past history of the Ways and Means Committee overfunding RSOs, we have had problems with that in the past. Firstly, this RSO specifically amended their budget down by thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of what they were originally asking, which I think is quite commendable. So they did what we asked them to the best of their ability. all of the items that they asked for were relatively reasonable. And they also followed all of our instructions as to what they could and couldn't ask for. So for example, I had pointed out that their convention and competition fees can only be represented at 50%. And they made those changes in like a really timely manner. So while I know our budget is particularly tight, I do think the work that this RSO is doing and that those $358 extra could make a huge impact to a lot of students in terms of like giving them an enriching educational experience that they wouldn't have otherwise without that a little bit going over the funding limit. Also on their presentation, when we saw them, which is the number you saw there, they had 118 members. Now they have 132 members. They just checked on the enrollment center, so they're really kind of growing their organization. So I feel like as we have done in the past, there are some certain circumstances in which we can be open to discussion of funding a little bit over, and I feel like this particular RSO presents a really reasonable case for that.
Would like to know if anyone else from the committee shares the same sentiment as Senator Abo. I'm not on that committee, so.
Yeah, I agree with Senator Abo. I feel like they had a much bigger budget and they were really easy to work with when it came to dialing down their budget a lot more, even though they do need it. I feel like also their involvement center has grown a lot more, and I feel like they need the extra 300 just for the functionality of their club. So. Any questions? Discussion?
We will go ahead and do a vote on the approval of funding for SES. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? And any abstain? None, with a vote of 13 to 0, the funding has been approved, and congratulations. That I will close 3D at 7:39 PM at the same time, open 3F for discussion and approval of funding for Project Wellness. Do we have any representatives for Project Wellness?
Yes, right here. Not 3, but just 1.
Whenever you are ready to close your session.
Point of order, we have a clerical error on the agenda item 3F. It reads submitted by UNLV Undergraduate Law Review. This is in fact the Project Wellness RSO.
Am I ready to go? Yes. All right. So just for the record, my name is Jose Llanes. My last name is spelled Llanes. And this is Project Wellness. So I'm the president of Project Wellness. This organization started last year because our previous president and vice president, Jordan and Matthew, had a lot of friends that were pre-med, we're all pre-med in this organization, and they realized that all of their friends were dropping out because of mental health issues. And they created Project Wellness to help combat that around campus, not just for pre-med. They were founded by pre-med students, but it's for every major, regardless GPA, and full-time status. So that's essentially what I said. So we're a student-led mental health initiative aimed to improve the general mental wellness of the student body and allow our students to be the voice of we as a university can promote student wellness and mental services. So our vision and mission statement. So in order to effectively present the UNLV students, Project Wellness will become the leading organization in disseminating on-campus and community resources to promote student welfare. So essentially what that means is we connect every single mental health resource on campus into one spot. So, and us is the spot. So essentially we partner with CAPS, we partner with the Wellness Zone, and several other mental health resources on campus and well-being resources on campus. So essentially, we're gonna have, I'll get to that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But our mission is for students to be heard and represented at UNLV, and they're provided space to share their feedback, receive resources and assistance. and I'll get to that later, get some more specific in the next. Okay, so this is where the fun stuff is. So we have 3 committees in our mental health organization. We have the mental health committee, and they will conduct regular mental health workshops at the UNLV zone throughout the semester, addressing critical topics such as depression, anxiety, and stress management. So how it's going to work is how X amount of people will show up to the mental health workshop, and we address things like depression, anxiety, stress management, and things like that. So I'm going to be basically like presenting up here, like I'm doing right now. And if a member goes, oh, you know, like I might have depression, or I might have anxiety, or I might have another mental illness or problem, then they can come to me or any other of our executive board and be like, hey, Jose or so-and-so, I need help, or I don't know what to do. And all of our board is NASPA certified. So this certified peer educator training makes it so all of our conversations are completely anonymous. So we can't tell UNLV, we can't tell their parents, we can't tell anyone. And then on top of that, since we partner with CAPS and the Wellness Zone and things like that, we can actually refer them to a professional. So like a licensed psychologist, so they can get help. So yeah, so that's the mental health committee. So the fitness committee is a little bit less serious, but we will host workout sessions at the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. So our actual next fitness committee meeting will be doing yoga at the SRWC. So that's fun. I've never done yoga, so I will be there. And on top of that, instead of just doing yoga and an actual UNLV event, we will be hosting workshops of ourselves. So I don't know if you guys go to the gym, there's sometimes there's 5 or 6, friends working out together and kind of showing each other what to do and things like that. That's essentially what we're going to do as well, because we realize that mental health and physical health are intertwined. And me, myself, I woke up at 5:30 this morning to get a quick workout in the morning before my 11:30 class. So yeah, that's how I do to address my mental health. And then we have the International and Transfer Student Committee. So our historian Isabel, she is a transfer student, international student actually, and she was born in Romania. She did all her years of education up until high school in Romania, and then she went here to UNLV. And throughout her first 2 years in the undergraduate, as a pre-med, she realized that there was really not that many resources for international students. She felt lonely. She didn't have any friends, anyone to connect to. So she actually reached out to us and was like, hey, I want to create this committee. So that's who we are. So we essentially help students that come from another country, another state, and we provide valuable resources and guidance to help them navigate campus life, make connections, and ensure a smooth transition. So mental health, Project Wellness in general is just a bunch of people that have the same goal, is to either improve their mental health or help other people improve their mental health. And that's already building a connection because now they know more people. And on top of that, if they just come in from another state, another country, and they don't know the campus, they don't know where to go, they're confused about certain resources on campus, we can also help them out with that. And our first International Transfer Student Committee meeting, meeting will be October 10th at 1 p.m. at the first floor of the library. And Isabel will bring Romanian snacks and candy and things like that. And then we'll talk about basically Romanian things and stuff like that, and if they need any help. So yeah, so here come our requests. So we have executive board polos. So we want our entire executive board to have polos. We realize that in tabling events, it is more formal and more kind of professional to have polos. And it will make our organization look more professional. And that's a good thing. Also, on top of buying our shirts and polos, we also are going to buy the logo, which is going to be basically plastered everywhere. And we're going to make stickers out of that and things like that. So that's also very useful. And then we're going to have our member t-shirts, which is that cool, funny brain guy in the middle that says strong mind. And then on the bottom it says UNLV Project Wellness Club. I know that the lighting isn't too good. So yeah. But yeah, that's our requests. And then on top of that, on the Excel spreadsheet, there was a reimbursement for flyers and things like that. I bought a ton of flyers to try to get the word out, especially in Rebel Ready Week and the involvement fair. So yeah, that's Project Wellness. If you have any questions, I'm right here.
for your presentation, and I will now open the floor to questions or discussion from the Senate. Does anyone have any questions or points of discussion? Chair Alba.
Just to point out, there's a clerical error on the budget, just on the bottom line. How about just with, you know, exactly what it is. It's on the bottom, it said, Society of Automotive Engineers. So that just is clerical.
Were there any further questions or discussion? We'll see none. We'll go ahead and vote for the approval of funding for Project Wellness. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? And any abstentions? Lovely, seeing none with a vote of 13 to 0 to 0, the funding has been approved and congratulations. Goes 3F at 7:47 p.m. At the same time, open 3G for the approval of funding for the College of Engineering.
Anyone will have to go get them. Dr. Kirby, you have a presentation?
Sorry?
Try a presentation or anything?
I'm just speaking. Okay, thank you. You guys have a presentation?
No, Dr. Kirby,
We're just here to show our support. So, good evening, everyone. Just want to talk to you about the track. So, we have a track already, but it is in a very bad shape. And because it is in a bad shape, it is almost hazardous to drive, especially if the clocks take it for long distances.
I can speak on that.
Sure.
Yeah, the truck, the current mechanical engineering truck and college engineering is in very poor shape due to lack of maintenance by our very own motor pool.
And the age.
Yeah. But it is a very old truck, and it's gotten to the point where when we try to tow our trailer, it is very dangerous to do so because the steering is incredibly wobbly and the suspension needs to be rebuilt. And that is a very expensive proposition.
So, because also the distance you guys drive is serious distance. You can
Yes.
go to the other side of the country.
Yes, we just got back from Ohio, yeah, 3,000 miles each way.
So it is not we actually. We means the SAE, Baja Cal, but it is used also by other clubs, AIAA, ASME, ACE for the complete club. So it is not just one club need, it is college-wide extracurricular activities need. In addition, they have been very successful in it. So this time they got 57 laps on the track, first place in endurance. Too bad you can't do this with the truck. Third place in, this came from third place in 22. They also got the first place in acceleration, first place in coast, 14th place in bull, pilot bull. So they have been very active and we feel that this is the least we can support. So hopefully by collaboration between CSUN and the college, we can get something to continue that track record. Also from my selfish point as a professor, I have seen over the years, and I have been here since '87, which I doubt that any of you were born. I have seen those students even if they have weak academic preparation, if they are involved with a club, the chances of success and graduation increases significantly compared when there is no clubs active. So this my pitch for tonight. Any question?
Oh, first I'd like to actually hash out kind of the details of what this is. Thank you, Dr. Mojave. We had Ashton Pearson from Road Racing, so for the record, as well to hash out the details for the bill, right? So this is to appropriate the funds for the funding of a new college engineering truck, right? And this isn't specifically just for Baja. SAE says it's not specifically just for one mark. So it's for all 33 and counting College of Engineering RSOs to use and be able to actually have a mode of transport for their materials, for anything. And it becomes a costly expense for each and every one of the clubs to even rent a truck or even have the capacity to rent a truck. A lot of the support that we've gotten from the surveys, and you can see in Addendum A, I've sent out surveys to the entire college with about 88 of the most active college constituents I have to respond in such detail of like the need for this truck, as well as like their affiliation with the RSOs. A majority of the students on campus for the College of Engineering, they need this truck. It's not a matter of luxury for them. It's a matter of their RSOs depend on it, and so do their academics as well to succeed. You'll see the majority of the results under the Addendum A regarding the survey from them, as well as Addendum C for what the college is proposing. And as far as we know, it's going to be coming. No, it's coming from the IBA account, the interest-bearing account. We're enacting the part in the CSUN bylaws of 50% from an outside source and 50% from CSUN. So what the total amount that we're requesting from CSUN would be $34,000. And the College of Engineering will supply $34,000 as well, to a total of $68,000. Now, is there any questions?
Presentation, I will open the question and discussion from the Senate and
Hey, thank you for coming today and requesting this to help improve your college. I appreciate the survey that you reached out to your constituents with and for providing us with some data analytics. However, what I was really looking forward to seeing from this presentation is the actual truck. A wise man once told me, if you're gonna purchase something, you should probably see it first. Is there any way we could see what the old truck looks like and what's the new truck that you're gonna be purchasing?
So far, right now, we don't have a truck. We have a truck held from one of our like sponsorships, but we just can't see it online because they took it down from the online site in order to like hold it for the truck. I would love to show you a picture. It looks beautiful. So that's a blue dually truck. It's qualified for trailer for all the needs for pretty much all the clubs that need to have like trailer hitches and as well as like just to carry a lot of material. So we do have that in mind. It does equate to about $68,000 with taxes as well as all the other expenses that need to be done to it.
Okay, so just putting that out there, I definitely want to support this, but I kind of want to see it. I trust that you're gonna purchase what you want, but I think it'd be very beneficial to you to actually show everyone what you're wanting to be purchasing. I had a different question concerning the budget. So I was looking at the FY24 budget that we approved, and the interest-bearing account, I don't believe is on there. Where is that line, the interest-bearing account? I might not be locating it.
Yeah, it's not in your annual budget. It's a separate account. So that for those who aren't familiar with the IBA interest-bearing account, it's sort of the equivalent of CSUN savings account. So the way money flows into the interest-bearing account is any overage at the end of the year. The executive board chooses how much will roll over into the next fiscal year versus how much will put into IBA. Depending on the year, business manager Clausius and I will advised differently based on how much already exists in the interest-bearing account. So this current year, we suggested that all funds that rolled over from FY '23, all funds that were left over from FY '23 rolled over to FY '24 because the current balance in the interest-bearing account, this is an estimate, it's about, I don't know to the T without looking it up, is about $480,000, which is pretty high. Typically, as advisors, we encourage CSUN not to have more than $500,000 in there, because then she will sometimes, board of regents will start to sniff around when the IBA gets a little too high, wondering why we're hoarding student fees. So this year we encourage no rollover money from FY '23 to go, I'm sorry, from FY '22 to go into the interest-bearing account. But the IBA exists basically as a savings account. Operational funds for like, you know, the regular funding of CSUN, what's gonna, you know, to pay for your office supplies or your salaries or those sort of things are not supposed to come out of IBA. IBA is really designated for you all to do like structural improvements, capital improvements on campus, or as a like savings account in case of an emergency kind of idea. This is really like, yeah, this is something similar that we would usually recommend that IBA is an appropriate expenditure, something to expend out of IBA. Similar things that have come out of IBA in the past, for example, those bike sheds, we have 2 bike sheds that exist on campus. Those were spent out of IBA. When we choose to do like structural purchases on campus, typically those come out of your IBA account. Does that help clarify?
Yes, that's great. And I remember you mentioning this towards the beginning of the session before we began to get started. And I thought that's a great idea. And it's awesome that we have senators who are being proactive and making sure that we're utilizing that IBA. But however, I had one more follow-up question on that. I wanted to know, it looks like this is the first request that CSUN is making from that IBA. I wanted to know, has there been any other requests so far? Do we have any in the queue, so to speak, to make sure that we're properly making sure that everyone will have access to that?
I would just remind you to refrain from discussing future business on the board.
Fantastic. All right, well, that concludes my questions.
Thank you, Senator Jonathan. Were there any further questions or further discussion?
I'd also like to point out, just to begin as well, addendum B, I didn't really use it during my first pitch, but addendum B says, explicitly states what each club, every major club will be using this truck for. If you'd like to look at it, they spent a lot of time really deciding what it is. I just feel like that's something that each and every one of the club should have like the time to look at this.
Thank you for that. There are no further questions or points of discussion, and we'll go ahead and vote for the approval of funding for the College of Engineering for the new truck. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? And any abstentions? Seeing none, with a vote of 13 to 0, the funds have been approved. Congratulations. I will now close to G as nice.
I'm so sorry, but we were at quorum and I really need to take point of personal privilege. So I don't know how we would move forward with that. Can I maybe motion for a 5-minute recess just for my own personal health? I would like to motion to move for a 5-minute recess.
Is there a second? All in favor of a 5-minute recess, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Any abstentions? With a vote of 12 to 1 to 0, the motion has approved 5 minutes.
To take a 5-minute recess.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Stopping
On the recording.
Is he running?
This is holding it for like 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
We're still recording. Remember, we're still recording.
Gonna go ahead and do a quick roll call just to make sure that we are getting quorum again. One second. Chair Ariano.
Here.
Senator Bernard.
Here.
Senator Garcia Contreras. Here. Senator Leon. Here. Chair Marinette.
Here.
STBT Alonso. Here. Senator Villanueva.
Yes.
Chair Alba.
Here.
Senator Hankins. Here. Senator Mooney.
Here.
Senator Jonathan.
Here.
Senator Toledo.
Here.
And Senator Flores. Here. Perfect, with 13 senators present, we are being quorum. So I will go ahead and, I will not open 3A just because, just so the Senate knows, there are 5 vacant seats for the Associate Justice position, and there are 5 people here, so I will just go down the order of the candidates. So I open 3B for the nomination of Anthony Cruz as Associate Justice. Is Anthony Cruz? Whenever you're ready, or you can go to the podium, you have 5 minutes to do your speech, and then
Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Cruz. I'm a public health undergrad, and I thank the executive board for the opportunity to state why I believe I should be assigned to Associate Justice. I value this position not only as a fun, interactive job, but as an opportunity to build upon communication and analysis skills that will be critical in my field of public health for my future career. To this end, I plan to approach my duties in a conscientious and diligent manner. I believe it is important to be decisive in such important decision-making, but I also have been trained to be resourceful in gathering information for coming to conclusions. As a result of the work I've done around my home region of Las Vegas, I value concise and effective communication highly. Being from North Las Vegas, my call to action was seeing the houses on my block separated by vast roads and poorly maintained sidewalks, with each resident an island unto themselves. The sight is common not just in North Las Vegas, but across Las Vegas, further into many other inner city spaces across the United States. Even so, it became apparent that there were methods available to ameliorate the issues not just on my block, but across communities. I have spent much time since high school participating in programs dedicated towards executing outreach to these disparate communities, and even pursued CTE/CS training to better my professional communication skills. Thanks to my experience in my major and my volunteer work at the community center, along with 3 Square Food Bank, I have accumulated skills that pertain to advocacy and interpretation, which I believe to be very useful for the promotion of the interests of the student population, while adhering to constitutional guidelines. At a community center, outreach and constructive programs need to be balanced with local and state guidelines. And as a liaison between the tutoring and seminar divisions, this was critical to learn. Volunteering at Robert E. Bob Price Community Center involved me in this evaluation process, helping organize events and communicate between officials and the community. I appreciate the impact of CSUN on campus life and the organization of RSOs towards a better student experience, the scope of which I have learned through last year's State of the Campus address. If given the opportunity, I will have a platform to reinforce the interpretation skills necessary to ensure proper adherence to the core values of CSUN. Again, thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity.
for your speech, and I will go ahead and open the floor for questions and discussion from the Senate. Does anyone have any questions or points of discussion for our candidate? Is that Chair Alden? Chair Arlen?
Hi, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for waiting for the long meeting again. I just have one question: is why you're running for the the judge position, correct?
It's associate justice.
Associate justice, okay. What I would actually like to know is kind of why, like in more in depth, that's why you chose to be associate justice rather than any other position at CSUN.
Much of my experience and what I find fulfilling to do when it comes to sort of outreach programs of any kind is the interpretation and communication between various departments. And not only that, using that to help facilitate better resource distribution towards any population. Very similar to what I do in public health. And upon viewing the work done in each section of CSUN, I came to the conclusion that associate justice was the best position for me in that regard.
I have a question more directed toward AG Martinez, specifically about like the nature of the term of a person in the JC, just for information. Is a person in the JC appointed until they resign and they maintain their tenure on the JC, or is it like on the same timeline as like the executive board, or because to my knowledge, there's nothing in the Constitution that says anything about that.
Thank you so much. I will actually like to yield to Chief Justice Laura to see if she's able to answer the question. Yes. So when they're appointed, it's the full academic school year. As per the Constitution, the term of anyone on the Judicial Council is 18 months from the day of their appointment. Yeah, one of the reasons for this is because they usually preside over multiple elections, and we prefer to have justices who have seen both cycles of the election and not just one. So that's usually why they're on a separate competing timeline than both executive and judicial and legislative elections.
Sure. And then follow-up question, would you be maintaining your tenure on the JC for the entirety of your appointment, if being 18 months from today?
Were there any further questions or discussion? Senator Leon.
Hi, so I just wanted to say that was a very good speech, and thank you for bearing with us through this entire meeting and speaking. But I guess my question is going to be sort of difficult to answer, but why should we not appoint you as associate justice?
So why should you not?
Yes.
Do you need any clarification on the question?
Yes.
It's like, what are your red flags essentially?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what it is.
Okay, let's see here. As for my red flags, I suppose that out of every possible quality that I have, one of my red flags might be the fact that I have quite a busy class schedule. There might be some scheduling conflicts depending on what day in particular I'll have to meet up. Because this is one of the years closer to when I'm going to graduate from UNLV. So I am trying to go for various other opportunities such as internships and other such possible opportunities, particularly with professors. So with that in mind, that might be an issue.
Were there any further questions? And thank you for that. Seeing none, we will go ahead and do the vote for the nomination of Anthony Cruz as associate justice. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? And any abstentions? Cool, so you know, with a vote of 13 to 0, the nomination has been approved, and congratulations.
Actually, if you get appointed today, make sure to stay here. That way Chief Justice Laura can swear you in at the end of the meeting. So stick around for a little longer.
Just a little bit. Thank you for your patience. And I will close. Did I close it already? Okay. I will open 3C at 8:19 p.m. for the nomination of Angelina Garona.
Yeah.
Gariona, thank you. You have 5 minutes and just let me know when you want me to start.
Good evening, senators and my other prospective candidates. My name is Angelina Guyana. I am a first-year student majoring in criminal justice, and I am interviewing today for the position of associate justice. I believe this position will help me acquire the necessary skills for my future application with hopes in the future to pursue a career in forensic psychology and attend law school. A little bit more about me is that I live on campus. I am also a first-generation student. I moved here far from home to pursue my passion and attend my dream school. I also recently joined a club on campus called Low Key Art Therapy, which I found to be involvement there. I'm originally from Fresno, California, and came here with hopes of getting better education, more student engagement, and ways to grow in a professional setting early in my career. I believe I am the best student candidate for associate justice because of the many different skills that I have, such as being a good listener, being reliable, a fast learner, a thorough communicator, team-oriented, and goal-driven. The reason why I'm interested in this position is because I have always loved to help students find resolutions to their difficult situations. When I was in high school, I was a link crew leader who often focused on helping students succeed and making sure they are getting the resources they need, and oftentimes listening to their concerns in order to help our high school grow. Another reason why I want to get involved at UNLV at such early time in my career is because I have a desire to stay within CSUN for the rest of my professional and academic years. By starting this process early on, it will give me the chance to learn from others within their positions, in addition to helping our UNLV students succeed, while also making sure they have a fulfilling career just as much as I do. This gives me the opportunity to not only help, but to give back to our community. If given the opportunity to work within CSUN, I will make it my purpose to learn about the laws, participate, go to meetings and hearings throughout the school year, and be willing to learn from those appointed over me. I hope this speech means a lot to you as it does to me. Thank you for taking time to hear it.
Thank you for your speech, and I will go ahead and open the floor for question and discussion from the Senate, and we'll go Chair Abel and then Senator John.
What year did you say you were again?
First year.
Is there a possibility, okay, so as a first year, it says specifically, I'm looking at the Constitution, it says, judicial officers shall have successfully completed no less than 24 UNLV recognized undergraduate credits, the last 7 of which must be from UNLV. Did you complete 7 credits previously from UNLV as a first year student? So would that mean that she's not technically eligible for this position? Either Chief Justice or AG?
I believe if the candidate has not qualified for the requirements in the Constitution, then that would make them
Ineligible.
ineligible
Ineligible.
for the position. However,
I would agree. I mean, I can double check, but that should have been caught already before they made it through today, but it's very possible to right. But yes, whatever is in the Constitution.
This is nothing against you personally, I'm so sorry. I just noticed that you're a first year, and generally like first years aren't eligible just because of the requirements within our Constitution. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be a fantastic associate justice. I would probably recommend that maybe we kind of have this checked, and then at a later time review this candidate for the position. So I would like to motion.
I'm gonna go Senator John again and then.
So while they're looking that up, regardless of Angelina, that was a fantastic presentation. And regardless of your student status and whether or not you qualify for the position, I think that was a fantastic presentation. And as a criminal justice major, I think that you're going to do great things. You're applying for the right position and you're in the space where you need to be. We need more bright, educated students just like yourself. And I appreciate you coming this evening and sitting through a meeting that shows dedication. So regardless of whether we'll be moving forward or not, I really thank you for coming this evening. And you're a great shining example of the types of students that we're looking for.
So I guess before we like, maybe this, did you took at least, is this like your first semester at UNLV? And you're not a transfer student from CSN or another college? You took 8 classes in high school?
Yes.
Did you know if you got transfer? Well, actually, yeah, this is the first semester. Sorry, I'm bored.
In the interest of time, I don't know how long that's gonna take. Could we go through it?
1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. Never mind.
So I have a question for just the table and also for, also had something to say to her, but I'm gonna ask the question for the Senate first. Can freshmen participate in the CSUN internships?
Yes.
Well, I would urge you to apply for that and get into those sorts of things, like Senator Jonathan said, your presentation was amazing, and I definitely think that you're very bright and exactly what CSUN needs. Just at a young age, getting up here and doing this in front of everyone, it's not easy. So you are commendable for that.
Okay, our greatest apologies to you. Yes, you are ineligible as per the Constitution, but I would just like to build on what Senator Leon said. And I am going to assume that the Chief Justice Valera would agree with me, that you seem like an excellent candidate for the Judicial Clerkship Program, which is an internship program specifically for the Judicial Council, which would allow you to interact with the Judicial Council as a clerk, and is often a pipeline into becoming an associate justice. I would agree with everyone at this table that has spoken that you are an incredible candidate who just does not meet the minimum qualifications of credit solely based on that. But I would highly, highly encourage you to connect with Chief Justice Loera after this meeting about that, and Associate Chief Justice Krell about the clerkship program. I'm so sorry for that. Misunderstanding.
So I will go ahead and close 3C at 8:27 p.m. At the same time, open 3D for the nomination of Hoffman Madsen. All 5 minutes, let's get to the podium, just let me know when you want to start your time.
Good evening, CSUN. My name is Hoffman David Madzu. I am a 4th-year student here, majoring in marketing. Primarily, my role and choice of wanting to be on the Associate Justice is based off my experience within helping students throughout the course of me being here throughout the lead business. Time span. As a student, I am a part of the Volunteering for Tax Assistance Program. I'm the marketing director where we help students get their taxes completed for free. On the other side, I also help students within the Colored Business Association, which is for our 1st generation student, and helping them not only getting internships, but also getting full-time after they graduate. Now, my full passion into wanting to do this was primarily is always standing right by students. I believe that no matter where I stand, I always want to do what's right, and even if through pressure times or through tough times. Now, I will say on the career side, this will help me within my upcoming career as a financial analyst for Vanguard. So learning always what is right, especially on the investing side, is something that not only will this push towards me in the long term, but will keep me a justice and accountable for it. So in the long term, I promise to lead, follow, and change for the better for our Constitution and for our university.
For your speech, and I will go ahead and open floor to the Senate for questions or discussion. Do we have any questions or points of discussion for the candidate? Chair Ariana.
So I'd like to congratulate you for just like going up there. It's pretty and sticking around for the whole meeting. I've actually had like, I kind of just want to say like on a personal note, I've had like the pleasure to actually like meet him during Rebel premiere and actually like suggested to Alexis Lorera. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've actually had the pleasure to actually talk to him. And the thing is, he did like, I just find it inspiring, just like all the things that you're doing right now and why you want to be part of CSUN. Just to comment on that.
I too would like to share my Hoffman Manziel experience. As some of you may know, I did run for student body president in the last election. And in doing that, I was reaching out to students to gain their opinion and idea on the campus. And Hoffman was one of the students who was very vocal about what he thought should be changed within CSUN at the university level. He's always been outspoken about student concerns, and I think that's honorable.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Oh, sorry, were you done?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chair Alba.
As a very involved student, how would you like manage your time in order to be actively present for the JC? The JC has a really high quorum. If the Senate wasn't aware, during semesters they need 7 of the 9 justices present. So how would you be able to manage your time effectively to be an active member of the JC?
So when it comes to time management, I always go back and think my experience on Wall Street working long hours. So basically, I always give a notice to everyone prior to. So I use my calendar and I double check that prior, either weeks in or 2 weeks out, and let the whole team know. And then following that, within the requirements, I was given a bit of notice via own crowd. So I'll make time adjusted for that.
Further questions or points of discussion? Did we lose Senator Toledo? Short one for quorum. Does anyone? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. We have 8:31 p.m. Senator Toledo has rejoined, and with 13 senators present, we are being quorum again. Were there any further questions or point of discussion for our candidate? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and vote for the nomination of Hoffman, how do you say it?
Madsen.
Madsen, as Associate Justice. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And were there any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, the vote of 13 to 0, the nomination has been approved, and congratulations. I will close 3D at 8:32 p.m. and at the same time, open up 3D for the nomination of Juan Rubio Toledo as Associate Justice. I'm sorry, thank you.
Greetings and good evening, late night, I guess at this point. My name is Juan Rubio. I'm a 4th year criminal justice student and former associate justice. So within my personal aspirations lying in the field of law, and my endeavors having led me to various forms of campus engagement, I've grown to see how advocacy can be such a powerful tool through which we can drive change in society. And that's of course, not only for the benefit of ourselves, but also for the improvement and quality of life of the general public. Presumably, we as students, especially at such a youthful and young age, we stand limited in the power and capabilities that we hold to mold the world or society around us. However, I stand to argue that we ourselves impose those limitations. If we are true to our intent and contest any challenges that come before us, then through even the most minimal acts and efforts, we'll be able to birth change within ourselves, those we interact, and the societies that we of course reside in. So the implications of morality, justice, and fairness can be something daunting that only complicates the implementation or even the interpretation of our laws. Although above all, we should seek to be true to ourselves in how we perceive the law and thus apply it as it should be, unique to the circumstances of a case towering before us, law should within itself give life. Yes, remain true to the intent and nature, but all while conforming to the contemporary ideals that we presently hold. Law is something that I have come to ponder on for years now, and as I at times find myself compelled by its versatility and evolution, as well as dumbfounded by its intricacies, I have come to explore it over the course of my term, having served on the Judicial Council. So over the course of my term held within the JC, serving as an associate justice, I was able to explore the implications of various legal proceedings and judicial matters. In essence, my experience nonetheless was fulfilling, and I developed relationships with peers who embodied the same ideologies as I. I engaged in matters that would affect and impact our student body and governing entity, while also refining my knowledge of the law. It's for those reasons that I seek an opportunity to serve on the Judicial Council once again. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech, and I will go ahead and open the floor for questions from the Senate and Senator John.
Juan, that was an amazing speech. I really appreciate that. Now, I wanted to ask you a question. That was a really nice, almost poetic style that you're using there. You mentioned that law should create life. Can you expand on that? How should law be creating life?
So as to not delve, I guess, too deep into kind of some of the most prominent subjects that we discuss in criminal justice, the whole concept of treating the Constitution as a living document, I think in that kind of sense, we can twist laws to, of course, at its core, see what they were founded on, but still apply it to how we now as a society function and the values we hold. So in essence, you give life to it by applying it to contemporary and modern ideologies.
So, if I may, laws should transform over time to match the society?
It is applicable to the society, but it shouldn't be conforming to the society. It's more so, it's always going to be open to reinterpretation.
I like that. Thank you.
Sure. Can I ask, it's kind of like a two-part question. Mine's a little less poetic than Senator Donegan's. To what reasons did you leave the Judicial Committee before, and what now makes you want to return?
So I actually served my full term, so the 3 semesters, and then I have 2 semesters left on campus, so I was really reinterested in joining.
Senator
Hello. Juan, thank you so much for doing that speech and for bearing with us through this lengthy meeting. So I guess my question for you is, knowing that you are a returner to the Judicial Council, what are you most excited for this term? What did you enjoy your last term that you're excited to do again this term or to engage in?
What I've come to notice ever so often, we do get kind of just basic cases of let's argue some long-standing law within our bylaws or constitution that we need to reform, but it's every once in a while you get the exciting cases where it's like, okay, now I'm really interested in rejoining or kind of engaging further in the Judicial Council, just because once again, it goes back to the whole, as a student body and as a society, we change from semester to semester, and it's interesting to see how the student body changes. And then just to be quite honest, everyone on the JC currently is different from everyone that has served before. So it'll be interesting to kind of meet and interact with them.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote for the nomination of Juan Polito as Associate Justice. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? And any abstentions? Cool. Seeing none, the vote of 13 to 0 to 0, the nomination has been approved, and congratulations. Right. We'll close 3E at 8:38 p.m. at the same time, open 3F for the nomination of Addington Rena for Associate Justice. You have 5 minutes to give your speeches. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone here for being here today to hear me and the other candidates speak. I'd also like to say my thanks to anyone in CSUN to who I've communicated with in regards to becoming a member of the judicial branch. I'm honored to be given an opportunity to potentially join our student government and be able to help in any way I can. But before I speak on what becoming an associate justice means to me, I want to introduce myself and my background. My name is Adnan Reda, and I'm a senior here at UNLV majoring in accounting. Over my 3 years here at this university, I've had the opportunity to join many great collectives of change on campus. In my sophomore year, I became a member of VITA, a service by UNLV accounting majors to complete free tax returns to Clark County districts who make under $60,000 a year. Last year, I was given the opportunity to join the Colored Business Association as its vice president. This club provides direct access to corporate America for students from minority and first generation backgrounds, in which I feel like our business school lacked for so long. Many of the members were able to secure full-time jobs and internships, and for which I'm grateful for my board and the students who have decided to believe in the vision we have set forth. Over my time, I've been involved in our community as a part of a team in order to support my community. I enjoy working with others, and this is a part of the reason as to why I want to be an associate judge. In my senior year, I want to be part of our judicial system to help create a better student government. The way I view this job is of two descriptors, honesty and accountability. Although I have not delved into the Constitution yet, I know that a good member of the judicial branch of any form of government should base their decisions on a good faith interpretation of the Constitution. A good faith interpretation means that you are approaching the Constitution with honesty, integrity, and a genuine commitment to uphold its principles and values. In any decision that I make, I'll be starting with the text and making sure that the original intent of the framers remain consistent with every choice I make. This is not a personal decision I made when deciding how I want to approach this job, but I believe to be a requirement. We are in service to approximately 30,000 students at our university this year, so it is important for me that our students feel like we're working for everybody, not just on our own personal interest. To the Senate, I understand how difficult your job is, and I respect what you guys are doing in order to better our university. I promise that if I'm chosen to become an associate justice, I will not overstep my boundaries and try to do your job. I also want to ensure that if I become an associate justice, that I will not try to become a prosecutor. The decisions that the legislative and executive branch make going forward will be respected, and I promise that I will not make a conscious effort to undermine them. My job, or at least how I perceive my job, is to solely view issues on a case-by-case basis and make a ruling on them based on their viability in the Constitution. I want to be the best representative that I can for the Lee Business School and UNLV, but this job isn't to me about being a figurehead. With that being said, thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing your questions.
Speech, I will go ahead and open for the question discussion. Senate Chair.
I'm going to be asking a similar question that I asked previously. As a student who's entirely involved at UNLV, how would you best manage your time in order to be an active and present member of the Judicial Council?
Yeah, so I know over my time at UNLV, I struggled pretty much with time management. I know in my last fall, I was working 3 jobs. I'll also be being a member of the Colored Business Association and a member of VITA, which happened in the spring, but I was still balancing both. As for me this semester and this year, it'll be looking less busy, even though I will be still dedicating my time in order to help the Colored Business Association. I'll still be doing VITA, and I'll also be joining 100 Black Men. So my time will be, I have a lot of time that I need to use. However, I do have a relationship with Justice Crow, and I'll make sure that if there's anything that needs to be done, it will be done in a timely manner, and I trust myself that I will.
I just have a kind of question, like why specifically the associate justice as opposed to any other position in CSUN?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, this is CSUN was something I never expected to join in my senior year, but I was approached the opportunity during around the same time Hoffman was actually, and it was a cool experience. I thought it would be a good way for me to be involved in my community even more. And as for justice, I think it's more in line with what I've done so far at my time at UNLV. I've worked in teams and in order to create laws and also create a change in our community. So I think due to the time that's available for me, I feel like being an associate justice is probably the best move.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hi, so I just wanted to say that was a great presentation, very detail oriented, and I definitely appreciate that, and thank you for coming in to speak for all of us and for sticking around for the meeting. My question that I have for you is, what are you looking forward to the most if appointed as the Associate Justice?
I'll be lying if I said I didn't hear what was going on to CSUN over the past year, and I think most students have been aware, and that's also part of the reason why I wanted to do the job. For me, what's most interesting is seeing how the elections go. I know there was some issues that happened during the last election, but I also want to be there and make a decision based on the Constitution, because I trust my good faith.
Thank you. Any further questions for us? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote for the nomination of, please say your name one more time.
Adam Iretta.
Adonai Redder. As Associate Justice, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Were there any opposed? Any abstentions? We'll see none with a vote of 13-0, the nomination has been approved. Congratulations. And I will close 3F at 8:44 PM at the same time, open up public comment.
Point of order.
This is the time that anyone from the public will speak. Austin.
Just a general meeting decorum note. I think you have to call for abstentions before we even open the agenda item. Because if someone's abstaining, that means they're gonna be abstaining from the entire discussion.
So I will, public comment. So this is the time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you are limited to 2 minutes for your public comment. Please refrain from saying anything slanderous or defamation of character, as I have the right to cut you off. When you come to the podium, please state your first and last name and spell your last name for the record. Does anyone have any public comments?
Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. Marnie Dow, D-O-W last name. Since I'm not on the agenda to speak at the end of the agenda, I like public comment if I feel like I have anything to say at the end of the meeting. I have 3 quick things. One, I'm so excited for all of our JCS appointments today. I am so excited to swear you all in today. We had just one of those years last year where everyone graduated or their term ended or whatever. So it was not a problem with the JC that had basically vacated, but we just had nobody on the JC. I'm really excited to have a returning JC member, but a functional JC again, 7 JC members to meet quorum. And we only had 4 before today. So I'm really excited that going into election season, we have an operational JC. So I'm so excited to see these new faces joining CSUN today, and I can't wait to see them be sworn in very soon. 2 quick reminders, and not only to the senators in the room, but to everyone that you interact with, your constituents, etc. The Senate filing deadline to run for a Senate position is this Friday, September 22nd at 5 p.m. Everyone's term ends on October 31st, and if you are re-elected, you are sworn in again on November 1st. So everyone will vacate their seat on October 31st unless you rerun for your seat. So if you would like to continue being a senator past October 31st, do not forget that is a hard deadline of September 22nd at exactly 5 p.m. Do not log in at 4:45 and start filling out your application and have like a glitch in your the internet and lose your internet connection and submit it after 5 o'clock. It is a hard deadline at 5 o'clock. So please do not give me a heart attack and wait until 4:30 on Friday. Just a quick reminder, get your filing back in. And a reminder, I know I said it in my email, but a reminder that healthy competition is good for you all and it's good for the Senate. So I know it's weird, it might feel weird to remind your constituents that they should run against you if you plan to rerun, but you should be telling them, making sure that you're opening up access to CSUN, encouraging members students on this campus who may be interested in becoming senators to join this table and to have their voice heard. That should be something you are encouraging everyone on this campus to do, even if that means they would be your competition. And then my last reminder, particularly this is something that I would encourage you as senators to put in your monthly newsletters to your constituents, that the registration deadlines for RSOs, registered student organizations, to re-register for the 2023-2024 academic year is at the end of this month, September 29th. So all RSOs, as a reminder, must re-register every single academic year to continue to exist on campus. Does not matter if they're registered last year. If they do not re-register this year, they will lose their status as an RSO. So I would highly encourage you to remind them of that in your monthly emails, which I know have to go out at least one day before that. I hope they don't wait till the last minute, also as a reminder, this year they have to have a constitution for their organization. This is the first year that we're requiring that, which is why we think a lot of orgs are waiting till the last minute because they're writing their constitutions at the last minute. So any friendly reminders you can give, especially to the orgs that are in your colleges. Many of you represent a large number of student organizations, so make sure you're connecting with your constituents to remind them that they shouldn't wait till the last minute. They have to write a meaningful constitution in order to attach to their registration application this year. Thanks, y'all.
Oh, it says Dominic, Ariano, Arellano. So I'd like to just say on behalf of like all the College of Engineering students as well, like they want to do this, they want to save it for Senate nations, but I just want to say like thank you to the whole Senate just for giving the opportunity to fund the truck. It's a great thing, talking to the students as well, having to like plan everything with this to get it to this point. It's greatly appreciated what you guys like taking the time to actually like consider it as well as look into it. Hopefully reading the addendum B, right? But I really am very appreciative, and as a whole, the deans, just so speaking on behalf of the deans, Dean Tal, Rama, as well as Dr. Trivia, they're greatly appreciative of like this connection that we have from CSUN to the college, and they really appreciate just what all you've got there.
Is there any further public comments? Seeing none, I will close public comment at 8:50 PM. At the same time, open up for explanations. Or is there like to make explanations?
Chair Alba, for the record, thank you all the people for hanging in with us. I'm so excited to have a full JC. It's the first time the JC will be full. We being here for almost an entire year, so that's kind of crazy. I want to just reiterate to all the senators online here, the committee is always open for you if you want to join. I would love a fuller table in my committee. So if you're still trying to figure out which committees you're going to be in, whatever, consider scholarships, grants, you're always free to message me. Additionally, if you can't make a commitment to be in a committee, but you have ideas, you can either sit in on committee meetings when you would like to, and I could give you the possibility to discuss in the committee. Or you can always send me an email and schedule one-to-one with me if you have some ideas you just want to discuss with me. I'd be more than happy to work with any of you on any ideas you have that would pass to my committee. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Alba. Were there any questions? Questions for Chair Alba? None. Thank you, Chair Ariana.
So again, thank you for the JC, right? It's been a while, right? So for that, thank you for sticking around with us. Pleasure to have like all of you see the faces that I have met personally as well as seeing the faces. I do want to remind everyone, of course, my committee is open for Ways and Means, right? Just to plug in, my committee is open as well as to speak on behalf of like the interest bearing account, because I know that's kind of like something obscure within CSUN's kind of bylaws. Of course, the process goes through Ways and Means, so it'd have to go through my committee first. So if you have any ideas you'd like to pitch to actually use that, please go ahead and like email me about it. But that's something that's kind of like I wanted to put out there.
Any questions for the Chair Ariana? Seeing none, were there any further summations? I will close the explanations to be continued on the same time open up executive board summations. I am the only one here from the executive board. So just bear with me for my summation. I will start with Senator Martinez has resigned as of today. So yes, that's just news for you all. And I have the rest of my submission. Just bear with me. So this is my last interview. I'm stepping down effective immediately after this meeting. I know this may come to a surprise and seem abrupt, but in short, I bit off a lot more than I can chew this semester. And I'm just a little stretched, a little too thin for my liking at this moment. I can't step away from my full-time job or my classes or my student teaching. So unfortunately, I had to make the decision to let go of my Senate president position. I want to be an effective leader, and what kind of leader would I be if I allow myself to be brought to the ground with all that I have on my plate? It's not that I can't do it or that I'm not capable. I know that I am, and I hope that the work that I've done so far has proven that. I just don't want to be here and not give my all into this position. So the only right answer for me, as I am the only one who has to live my life, is to step down. It would not be fair to you all to have someone in a position that holds this much weight as Senate President to not be fully committed or present. And after this summer, I don't have the mental capacity to carry on in this position. I do plan to do a lot of self-care and self-reflecting as I am kind of going through it at the moment. But I want this to be a reminder to you all that burnout is real. And please talk to people and always figure out what's right for you. Don't live your life for other people. I leave with no ill feelings toward CSUN or anyone involved. I have learned so much and really enjoyed connecting and working with each of you. Thank you to those who have stepped up in time to me or supported me since I've been here and shown up to do your jobs. I wish you all the best in CSUN and the rest of your college careers. Please remember we are here for school, and that is the end goal, to graduate. I'll still be around. I'm still a student. I won't be a stranger, and please don't be a stranger to me as well. I'm so sorry that these are the circumstances, but I have to do what's best for me and my mental health at the end of the day. Because again, I am the only one who has to live my life. And with that, I have full confidence in SPPT Salongtong and hope that each of you continue to support and uplift her during her transition to the Senate President role. Again, thank you for your support and always wish you all the best. And if there are any questions for me, I will take them or any discussion, and if not, I will look forward to it. Sorry, I know that was a lot. I'm sure
I mean, it's not really a question. I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm so sorry that you just had to take a look at all the stuff that's going on in your life. I totally get it. School is crazy, life is crazy. I hope you know that I really appreciate all the work that you did, and I'm sad to see you go. Although I do understand that CSUN can be a lot, specifically Senate President can be a lot. I wish you all the best in your studies and your future degree. I know you'll be fantastic at whatever you do, just like you've been fantastic in this role. Thank you.
Yeah, and I could just piggyback off of Chair Alpha's, I think. I mean, it is quite sad that we have to see you go, but of course, priorities are priorities, right? And CSUN is a part of the thing that we just do on the side, but we're students first, and that's something that needs to prioritize more often than not. Of course, I do have a question about the Senate bill a little bit, but I would love to actually have you, as opposed to, not, no offense, to Julius and Salongtong, just to sign the bill, because it's something that I've worked on very, very much so, and I've talked to you about as well. And I just feel like for that, I want the College of Engineering to as well put that little.
Yeah, that was approved before.
Yeah, before he resigned, of course, but like I want that to be like something that's just something that's like your last act within CSUN.
I just wanted to thank you so deeply for your service. And you've done an amazing job, and I appreciated your support towards me over the summer. And you do you, girl. You are you're gonna do great things out here in this world. And UNLV is so lucky to have you.
So it is sad to see you go, but at the end of the day, you know, like Celine say, you do you, girl. But I just want to say for the record that I'm not sure as anyone here has seen as much as you put into this position as I've seen behind closed doors. So I just want to let the record show that you have completely shoot above what was expected of you as someone who never had any experience with CSUN whatsoever. Join CSUN within the month, become one of the the most hard position to be a part of in season is the Senate president. And seeing you throughout the summer, like just develop, I just wanna like let you know that I'm pretty sure no one here can deny that you've completely, fully embodied the position of the UNLV student body Senate president. And so shout outs to you.
I'm not gonna do it because Mara and I have had our own conversations about this. But I think we all deserve, I think she deserves for all of us to give her a large round of applause for all of us.
And Senator Villalba.
I'm sorry, my iPad is about to die. But I just wanted to say, I just want to say thank you, first of all. Your presence was always very welcoming and you brought a warmth to the room that I think in a space like this you really want, especially because it's hard being in an environment like the kind of CSUN. Being in government in itself is very hard. And I just want to say thank you. And it was very honorable. And it takes a lot of integrity to step down from a position like you are. But on that note, I do want to say that I think that as we see the deadline coming up for re-election, I want all senators to really think about, are they able to commit to being a CSUN senator? Are they doing their job as they should? And that was just really enlightening. Like, I don't know. I was enlightened a lot by what you had to say. So thank you at the end of the day.
Thank you. And thank you all. If there is nothing else, I will want to.
So I've never been in this position, and it's bittersweet because I see, an outstanding Senate president in front of me. It's weird because she would message me before like, hey, I need practice. She shows her dedication. She was nervous before, but it doesn't really show whenever she has heart, which is so great. I don't want to cry. It's a lot of responsibility. I asked for a Senate President pro tempore position in the hope that I'm gonna be overseeing the internship program. When they would always say that in the likelihood that she steps down, but I would be like, no way. But she does. And honestly, it's honestly brave of you to do that because it takes so much, like just to acknowledge, okay, I prioritize myself because I honestly need to do that too. For all the senators, for all the Senate, I'm excited. Thank you. I'm excited to serve a body that is outstanding, that is high achieving, and it's my pleasure to be your leader. I am finding a Senate President pro tempore, so if you are interested, let me know. But I'm excited. I don't know what to say. This is kind of weird. But thank you so much for your service.
Thank you all, and I wish I had the capacity to continue. I don't know how I'm gonna be a teacher because saying goodbyes is just never easy for me. I will probably do this at the end of every school year as well. But again, I'm still around. If you have my number, follow me on Instagram. I'm still a student, and I'll probably still be around the offices. Just saying. That is all of my summation. So I will close executive summations at 9:03 p.m. at the same time.